Hello dear students, welcome to another episode of this educational program which is intended for students of grade 12. In this lesson, we're going to revise in preparation for the second period exam. But first, we'll take a short break, then we'll be right back. So stay with us. Welcome back, dear students. In this episode, we're going to revise in preparation for the second period exam. So, as you can see, for the exam, we're going to prepare and revise lessons from Module 1 and Module 2, which means that you need to prepare for all the 6 units. Now, let's remind ourselves of these 6 units. Unit number 1 is talking about the law. Unit 2 is talking about migration. Unit 3 is about human values. Unit 4 is entitled The Earth at Risk. And Unit 5 is entitled Precious Resources. And last one, or Unit 6, is called Under Threat. Now, your exam is going to be marked out of 400 marks. And it is going to be divided into 7 main parts. The first part is vocabulary, which is going to be out of 6 marks. The second part is grammar, which is marked out of 40 points. Part 3 is language functions, which is about 50 points. And then you'll have set book questions and literature time questions, which is going to be marked out of 40 marks. Part 5 is writing, which is 80 marks. And then you'll have part 6, which is about reading comprehension and summary making. It is going to be out of 100 marks. And the last section, or the last part of your exam, will be translation, which is going to be marked out of 30 points. Okay? So here I'm going to share with you, or I want to draw your attention to a few points. Now, I'm going to deal with this exam or mock exam in a linear way, which means that I'm going to go or to move from one exercise to another or one section to another in a linear way or sequentially, okay? Moving from vocabulary to grammar to language functions and then set book questions. Now, during the exam, try to start with whatever section you feel comfortable with. So if you are strong at writing, for example, start with writing. If you feel confident in your writing skills, why not starting with this section? Okay? Second thing I would like to draw your attention to is that start with easy questions and then move to the more challenging ones. This will give you self-confidence and also it will motivate you to finish the exam. Right? So having said that, I would like to start with the first section of the exam, which is vocabulary. In vocabulary section, you're going to have 2 exercises. The first exercise is a multiple choice exercise. The second one is a fill in the blanks. Now let's move to the first exercise, which is a multiple choice. So from A, B, C, and D, try to choose the best answer. Okay? Sentence 1 reads, they spent all the time discussing, then space, issues and postponed the major ones for the following meeting. Here are the list of words. Minor, humid, timid, and damp. So I'll give you, or I'll show you the list of words to choose from. Okay? I'll give you some time to think. All right? So the correct answer is minor. And the complete sentence reads, they spent all the time discussing minor issues and postponed the major ones for the following meeting. Minor here means unimportant or small matters, okay? So, or small issues. We move on to sentence number 2. I'll read it for you. The driver was fined on the spot by the traffic police for exceeding the, and then space, on the ring road. All right? Here is the list of words. The first word is wood pulp. The second one, techno-criminal. Third one, red tape. And the last one, speed limit. Okay? Here is the list of words to choose from to complete the meaning of the sentence. I'll give you some time to think. So, what do you think? Could the word red tape complete the meaning of this sentence? I don't think so. It's the word speed limit. And the whole sentence reads, the driver was fined on the spot by the traffic police for exceeding the speed limit on the ring road. Excellent job. Let's move to sentence number 3. The school administration encouraged the students to, space, flowers to make their school more beautiful. So this is a measure taken by the school administration to make the school much more attractive and beautiful, and they did something. So let's find out what is the missing word to complete the meaning of this sentence. The words are displace, grow, emigrate, and afford. The whole list is here. A few seconds to think. Make up your mind. Notice that I need a verb, and after the verb we have flowers. What do we do to flowers? We grow flowers. And the school administration encouraged the students to grow flowers to make their school more beautiful. So far, so good. Exercise or sentence number 4 reads, the United Nations is keen on ensuring a safe life to the space in different parts of the world. Here's the list of words: properties, climates, minorities, and incinerators. So I'll give you some seconds to think. So the answer is minorities. The United Nations is keen on ensuring a safe life to the minorities in different parts of the world. Minorities means small groups or marginalized groups. Sentence 5, we can't continue paying these huge salaries while we're losing heavily. We must space some workers. Now, the context of this sentence is telling us that we have a company which is trying to downsize, which is trying to dismiss some workers. Now, what is the word or the verb here that means to dismiss? Is it go along with, get rid of, run out of, or keep up with? Notice that we have a 3-word phrasal verbs. Okay? So the right answer is going to be picked from this list: go along with, get rid of, run out of, or keep up with. And the right answer is definitely get rid of. And the whole sentence reads, we can't continue paying these huge salaries while we're losing heavily. We must get rid of some workers. All right? Now we finished the first exercise, which was a multiple choice exercise, and we're going to move into a gap filling exercise. So fill in the spaces with the correct words from the list. And the list reads annoyance, housing, prevailing, reclaim, compassionately, and value. Sentence number 6 reads like this: the space feeling among the people of Kuwait is their great love for their dear homeland. Now, try to find the word that is missing from this sentence. Could it be the word compassionately? Is it the word housing, prevailing, annoyance, value? What could it be? Well, if you don't know the meaning of these words, there is a trick that could help you in this type of exercise, which is a little bit of grammar could be of great help in here. Now, let's consider this sentence grammatically. Now, notice that we have a space, and before the space we have the article the, and after the space we have the word or the noun feeling. This is a noun phrase, and the word that is missing from this noun phrase is an adjective. Going back to the list and trying to find which of these words are adjectives, we will find that there is only one word, and that is the word prevailing. Okay? So prevailing here is an adjective, and that is the only adjective. So notice that my knowledge of grammar has helped me to identify the word to be used to fill in the sentence without even knowing the meaning of that word. So here the word is prevailing, and prevailing means widespread. So the widespread feeling among the people of Kuwait is their great affection and love for their dear homeland. All right? So let's go to next sentence, which is sentence 7. The new cities which are being built nowadays will surely provide a solution to the problem of, and then we have a space. Which problem can be solved by building new cities? That's very easy, isn't it? It's the word housing. The complete sentence reads, the new cities which are being built nowadays will surely provide a solution to the problem of housing. Excellent job. Sentence 8, the roadworks in the main street cause a lot of space to both drivers and pedestrians. Again, here we have a lot of, and a lot of is a quantifier. I need to find a noun from the list. And going through the list, I can spot only one noun, which is the word annoyance. If I try to experiment with this word and put it in the space and read the whole sentence, the roadworks in the main street cause a lot of annoyance to both drivers and pedestrians. Notice that it fits perfectly and it completes the idea of the sentence. So that is the right answer, annoyance. Sentence 9, loyal friends are those who really, space, the true meaning of friendship. Here is a clause, who really, and then I need a verb, because the subject of this clause is who, which refers to the word or the noun friends, and then I need a verb. These friends do something, okay? So the verb here from the list is the verb value. They appreciate, okay? So that's why they are called loyal. Okay, so loyal friends are those who really value the true meaning of friendship. Sentence 10, we should care about the elderly by treating them respectfully, and then we have a space. So we need a word which is an adverb, because here I have a parallel structure. Okay, I have the word respectfully, which is an adverb, and then I have a coordinating conjunction and so if I have an adjective, I need to use another adjective to keep balance in the structure of the sentence. So I should say respectfully, and the only adverb here is the word compassionately, which means sympathetically. And the whole sentence reads, we should care about the elderly by treating them respectfully and compassionately. All right, so we are going to move into the second part, which is grammar. In grammar, we're going to have two types of exercises. The first one is multiple choice. So from A, B, C, and D, choose the correct answer. Now here is the first sentence. It reads, we have a space, then her lack of computer skills, she's an excellent secretary. I'll provide you with 4 options, and then there is a timer. I'll give you 20 seconds to think, and then after the elapsing of the 20 seconds, the correct answer will be revealed. All right? Are you ready? Here is the list of the options. Although, despite, whereas, and during. Let's read the sentence again. Space, her lack of computer skills, she's an excellent secretary. There is a contrast between her lack of computer skills and being an excellent secretary. So the right answer is despite. The whole sentence reads, despite her lack of computer skills, she's an excellent secretary. Now, why I used despite and not although? It's simply because after the space, I have a noun. And despite is used before a noun and not before a clause like although. Although is used to introduce a clause. We say, although she has or she doesn't have good knowledge of computer, she is an excellent secretary. But here I have the word despite, because after the space there is a noun. Okay? And there is another word which is similar in meaning and also in structure to despite, which is, come on, try to guess it. It's the phrase in spite of. So in spite of and despite are used before a noun. As for although, it is used before a subject and a verb. Okay, we move on to the next sentence. Again, you have a sentence, 20 seconds to think, and you have 4 options to choose from. The sentence reads, the book, space, you gave me is worth reading, and you need to choose from one of these relative pronouns. Who, whose, why, or which. I'll give you a few seconds to think. Read the sentence on your own pace. And the answer is, the book which you gave me is worth reading. Which is used here because it refers to an inanimate, an object. Okay? The book. If it was a person, then I would have used the relative pronoun who. If it was a question of possession, then I would have used whose. If it was a reason, I use why. And in this sentence, there is an object. That's why I used the relative pronoun which. Great. We move on to the next sentence. England have not won the World Cup in football, space, 1966. The alternatives are for, since, ago, or yet. Okay? Have a go. Try to experiment with these different words and then come up with the right answer. And the correct answer is definitely since. Great. England have won the World Cup in football since 1966. Okay? So we used since here because it comes before a definite point in time. Okay? So 1966 is a definite point in time. It is not a period of time. Okay? If it were a period of time, I would have used for instead. Okay? Ago is used with sentences where the verb is in the simple past tense. And here I don't have the simple past tense used. I have the present perfect, have not won. Okay? And yet is used at the end of the sentence. For example, we say, I haven't finished my writing assignment yet. So it comes at the end of the sentence when the sentence is also in the negative form. All right? So the only option to be chosen here is the word since. Next sentence, he couldn't join the university, space, he didn't score high in TOEFL exam. Okay? So the options are so that, in order to, so, and because. I'll give you a few seconds to think. Okay, get ready. The answer is going to be revealed in just 3 seconds, and there it is. Okay, so the correct answer is he couldn't join the university because he didn't score high in TOEFL. So we used because it introduces a reason. Okay, so that is used to introduce a purpose when there is a clause. In order to comes before a clause which introduces a purpose, but the first word is a base form, a verb. Okay? So we say, I study hard in order to succeed. For so that, I say, I study hard so that I can or I could succeed. So the third alternative is used to introduce result. And the last one is the correct answer here because it introduces a reason. And the reason why he couldn't join the university is that he didn't score high in the TOEFL exam. Next sentence, my fingers were injured, so my sister had to write the notes, space me. Here are a few prepositions, and you need to use the appropriate one and the most accurate one to complete the meaning of the sentence. A few seconds to think. right? I think this is an easy sentence. So my fingers were injured, so my sister had to write the notes for me. Okay, for me is the right answer. Right, second type of exercise in grammar is to correct the underlined mistakes. And the first sentence reads, she wished she has learned typing in order to helping her husband with his work. So notice that here I have a sentence in which someone is expressing regret. And to express regret in the past, he used the word wished. So with wished, to express regret in the past, we often use, or we use actually, the past perfect. And the past perfect starts with the helping verb had followed by the past participle. Okay? So to correct this sentence, it should read, he or she wished she had learned typing in order to, and after in order to, I need to use the base form of the verb, which means an infinitive without to. So we don't need to use the gerund here, and gerund is a verb followed by an ing. So if I omit or delete the ing, then the sentence would be perfectly correct and accurate. And the whole sentence reads, she wished she had learned typing in order to help her husband with his work. Now notice that in this sentence we talked about using wish to express regret. And here is a quick revision of how to use wish. Now wish is used or is followed by a verb in the past perfect in order to express regrets about something happened or didn't happen in the past. So when the context of the sentence is that of a past time, then I use had plus past participle. We use the past perfect tense. Okay, so here is an example. He wished he had trained hard for the competition. We understand from this sentence that he didn't train hard, and so he lost the competition, or he didn't do well in the competition. So to express regret about something that happened in the past, we say he wished he had trained hard for the competition. Now, second use of wish is when it is followed by a verb in the simple past tense. This is used to express dissatisfaction with the present and an impossible conditions. For example, we say, I wish I had my glasses. I can't read the report. I'm talking about now. I don't have my glasses, but I wish I had my glasses. So it can help me to read better the report. Okay, so wish also can be used with would, followed by a verb to express complaints. So if you are complaining about something and you want to express your annoyance, then you use this structure, wish followed by would. For example, I wish you would stop making such buzzing noise, for example. Okay, so someone is annoying you and you are complaining by saying, I wish you would stop making such a noise. Good. Next sentence reads, if the traffic code is respected, the policeman wouldn't have stopped the driver of the van. The first mistake could be corrected by using which tense? Is it the present tense? No, it's not. Because this sentence is a conditional sentence. Why we call it conditional sentence? Because simply it starts with if. Okay? So, and the second part of the sentence, as you notice, the verb is wouldn't have followed by a verb. Now, which tense should be used in the first part of the sentence? It should be the past perfect tense. If the traffic code had been respected, notice that it is in the passive voice. So, had been followed by the past participle. Had been respected, the policeman wouldn't have, and then if followed by past perfect, then in the second part of the sentence we use would have or wouldn't have followed by the past participle. So what is the past participle of the verb stop? It's a regular verb, so you should add an ed. Don't forget to double the p. Okay, so we have stopped. Great, let's revise conditional sentences. We use conditional sentences to express different ideas. For example, when we want to express a general truth or a scientific fact, we use if followed by simple present, and in the second part of the sentence the verb should be in the present simple. Okay? For example, we say if you heat water to 1 degree Celsius, then it boils. If is followed by the simple present, and in the second part of the sentence we use future, which means will followed by a verb. For example, we say, if I find her address, I will send her an invitation. It is likely. The situation is more likely to happen. Okay? If the situation is unlikely to happen, then we use this structure. If followed by simple past, and then in the second part of the verb or of the sentence we use would plus verb. And the whole sentence reads, the example sentence reads, if I were in charge, I would raise salaries. Okay? So this is unlikely to happen. So you use if I were you, for example. Okay? So it is unlikely that I would be you, right? And if you want to talk about a condition which is in the past, then you use if followed by past perfect, and the second part of the sentence you use would have plus past participle. If I had studied hard, I would have passed the test. Okay? So we have reached the third part or the third section of the exam. But before that, let's take a short break, then we'll be right back. So stay with us. Welcome back, dear students. So let's continue with the third part of the exam, which is language functions. So what would you say in the following situations? First situation, you are determined to study in a foreign country, but your parents refuse the idea. So you can say, for example, or you can use actually persuasion, discussing advantages, or giving reasons, such as, I insist on studying in a foreign country. You can also say, I am absolutely certain that studying abroad is more beneficial. Or you can say, please try to understand me. Or it's been my lifelong dream to study abroad. Okay? Also, it's possible to say, studying abroad will teach me self-reliance and builds my self-confidence. Here is a second situation. You were waiting in line to book tickets for the cinema when suddenly someone came in front of you. So what would you say in this situation? You can express criticism and annoyance, blame, or you can give advice. For example, you can say, excuse me, you may not have noticed, but the end of the line is over there. You can also say, excuse me, there's a line here, and we've all been waiting. Another possible answer, excuse me, sir, I wish you would wait for your turn. Or, excuse me, I don't want to be rude, but you have to stand in line. Next situation, your sister's laptop got infected with a malicious file, slowing down its performance. So you can offer help, you can describe the problem, you can express opinion, lack of obligation or obligation. For example, you can say, you have to update your antivirus, or let me see what I can do to troubleshoot the problem. Another situation, one of your friends is aggressive. He always makes problems with others. So you can say, I don't understand why you often try to hurt others. I advise you to seek professional help to change your aggressive attitude towards others. Or you can say, I wish you would stop behaving aggressively. Why don't you just be more polite to others? Another situation, your cousin feels bad because you've gone into the habit of neglecting his or her emails. So you can say, I am so sorry for seeming a bit negligent, but I was too busy to reply to any emails. Or, I didn't have internet connection lately, That's why I couldn't read or answer your emails. Or, I'm sorry for making you feel bad. I don't check my email regularly. Or you can say, don't take it personally, cousin. I'm not keen on answering emails. Okay, so we finished from the 4 first ones, and this is the last sentence. You're planning your holiday. So you can express intention, or you can talk about planning, expressing a wish, discussing a plan, or presenting ideas. You can say, I intend to spend 20 days in Thailand this summer. Or, I wish the weather gets better so we could enjoy our holiday. Or, I don't think it's too late to book a ticket to Thailand. I'll call a travel agency to check availability. Now let's move on to the 4th part, which is set book questions. Okay, so answer only 3 of the following questions. And the first question reads, why should be there laws in every society? The answer to this question could be, many people would behave badly in the absence of laws. Another possible answer would read, without laws there will be chaos. And another answer, law is important because it protects the rights of all people of all religious and political persuasions. Or you can say, the law ensures a safe, just, and tolerant society. Now, question 2, suggest some ways or practical ways to preserve natural resources. So the answer could be, we can preserve natural resources by recycling and reusing material, protecting forests from wildfires, protecting the soil by planting trees, organizing campaigns to raise people's awareness. So one of these sentences will do it. Okay? So you don't have to write 4 points. You can just write or answer the question in just one meaningful sentence. Right? So question number 3 reads, traditionally, the arfaj plant was used for a variety of purposes. What were they? So the arfaj plant was used as a natural medicine. It was used as food for sheep. It was considered a source of bedding and firewood. Okay. Question number 4, plants are always in danger from animals. How do they protect themselves from these dangers? So some plants protect themselves by their sharp thorns and stings. Others protect themselves by poisoning their enemies, by using a sticky gum or a sticky substance. Some plants manage to defend themselves against enemies, and other carnivorous plants protect themselves by eating their enemies. All right, literature time. You need to answer only one of the following questions. So the question reads, how should an army leader deal with his troops? Well, leaders should provide their troops with constant encouragement. They should be a good model to them by being brave. They should be determined and supportive. And also, leaders should motivate their troops, and they should care for their troops and empathize with them. Second question, what are the qualities of good soldiers? Well, soldiers should be brave, courageous, valiant, and exceptionally audacious. They should be confident in their victory. They should be loyal and shouldn't be hypocrites. Writing section is section number 5 of the exam, and it will be marked out of 4 points. Remember that 8 marks to be considered for using pre-writing techniques, and by pre-writing techniques we mean outlining. You should start with an introduction, a body, and then a conclusion. Notice also that you are going, or it's possible that you could be asked to write a report, an email, whether formal or informal, to write about an argumentative topic, or to transfer information from a chart, or to analyze a table. The length of your essay should be around 14 sentences, and these topics, or the topic, is semi-related, which means is going to be in one way or another related to what you've studied in the 6 units. Here is an example of a topic. Recycling is a process to change waste into new products to prevent waste of potentially useful materials. The world needs to recycle badly. In about 14 sentences, plan and write a report considering the following points. So here are the points which will serve as ideas for you to structure your your essay or assignment. So the importance of recycling, the materials which can be recycled, and suggest ways to encourage people to recycle. So in the outline, you can, the outline will consist of 3 parts: introduction, the body, and the conclusion. In the introduction, you can define the word recycling, or you can also say why we need recycling. In the body, the paragraph number 1, you can talk about the importance of recycling. For example, you can say to reduce consumption of fresh raw materials, or to reduce energy usage, or recycling is a key component of modern waste reduction. Also, you can give this idea of reducing harmful chemicals and greenhouse gases which are released from rubbish in landfill sites. In the second body paragraph, you can talk about the different materials that we can reuse or recycle, such as papers, bottles, plastic, glass, electronics, and textiles. In the conclusion, you can suggest some ideas to encourage people to recycle. For example, you can say we should educate people about its advantages and how it can help the environment and save money. Another idea or another suggestion would read, we should offer rewards to the houses that create the least amount of trash and the most recyclables. Now let's move to the next part, which is reading comprehension and summary making. So from A, B, C, and D, choose the correct answer. This is just to show you that you should start reading the questions before even reading the text, so that you read with a purpose in mind. So the first question reads, the best title for the passage is The Most Vicious Sea Animal, The Undersea World, The Defensive Tricks of Octopi, The Best Defense is a Good Offense. Here is the text. Let's read it together. Some people say that the best defense is a good offense. An octopus, however, would disagree. In addition to being one of the strangest and most beautiful creatures in nature, the octopus has some of the most inventive and effective defense mechanisms imaginable. While other animals have teeth, horns, or claws to help defend them from predators, the octopus concentrates its energy on hiding from and confusing its attackers. When it wants to get away, the octopus has an impressive arsenal of tricks at its disposal. The most well-known of the octopus's defense mechanisms is its ability to squirt clouds of ink into the water. Some octopi use this cloud of ink as camouflage. After squirting the ink, the octopus retreats into the ink cloud where the predator cannot see it. Other octopi use the ink cloud as a trap. If a large, intelligent predator, such as a shark, knows that octopi use ink clouds for camouflage, it might simply attack the ink cloud blindly, hoping to make contact with the octopus inside. However, some sneaky octopi will release the ink cloud in one direction and hurry away in another direction, leaving the predator with nothing but a mouthful of ink. In addition to confusing predators' sense of sight, these ink clouds also confuse their sense of smell. The ink is made primarily of melanin, which can shut down the predator's sense of smell. If an octopus cannot be seen or smelt, it has a much higher chance of escaping an attack. Another defense mechanism possessed by octopi is the ability to change color, much like a chameleon. Some poisonous octopi, when provoked, will change their skin to a bright, eye-catching color to warn predators that they are dangerous and ready to strike. Other octopi use this ability to change their skin to the color and texture of seaweed or coral, allowing them to blend in with their environment. Finally, some octopi use this color-changing ability to look like another type of animal. The body of an octopus is highly flexible, and some species can combine this flexibility with their color-changing skills to make themselves resemble more dangerous animals, such as sea snakes. While the octopus may not be the most vicious creature in the ocean, its numerous and clever defense mechanisms help it to survive in the dangerous undersea world. So, let's go back to question number 1. What is the best title for the passage? Is it the most vicious sea animal, the undersea world, the defensive tricks of octopi, or the best defense is a good defense? I think you've guessed it right, and the correct answer is the defensive tricks of octopi. Question 2. Which of the following sentences from the passage best expresses the main idea? Is it A, the most well-known of the octopus's defense mechanisms is its ability to squirt clouds of ink into the water? Is it some people say that the best defense is a good offense? C, another defensive mechanism possessed by many octopi is the ability to change color? Or, when it wants to get away, the octopus has an impressive arsenal of tricks at its disposal. Now, here is the paragraph. If you want to look for the main idea of a paragraph or the topic sentence, then you need to look at the first sentence. But in here, because this is an introduction, and the writer started by giving general information about, or background information about the topic, then you have to read up to the last sentence where you can find the thesis statement. Okay? So the thesis statement reads, when it wants to get away, the octopus has an impressive arsenal of tricks. And this makes sentence or option D the correct answer. When it wants to get away, the octopus has an impressive arsenal of tricks. Good. Question 3. In the first paragraph, there are two words which are used as antonyms, as opposites. Is it inventive and effective, predators and attackers, defense and offense, mechanisms and tricks? So here is the paragraph. Notice in the first sentence we have the word defense, and then you have offense. The relationship between these two words is that of opposition. So they are opposites, or we call them antonyms. The answer to this question is C, defense and offense. They are opposites, or they are antonyms. Question 4, the pronoun it in paragraph 1 refers to what? The octopus, energy, an impressive arsenal, or confusing its attackers? Here is the pronoun, it's blinking. So when it wants to get away, the octopus has an impressive arsenal of tricks at its disposal. Now I am reading the sentence wherein I find the pronoun. And notice that I can answer the question because it here refers to the octopus. Also, if I read the previous sentence, the sentence that is coming prior to this sentence, then I can come up with the idea that it refers to the word the octopus. Okay? So to answer this question, the right answer is the octopus. Pronoun it refers to the octopus. Question 5, the final paragraph can be best described as a what? Is it a prediction conclusion? Is it a full circle conclusion? Which means the writer builds on a word or theme from the introduction. He takes one word and he develops that word. Is it a solution conclusion in which the writer gives some solutions? Or is it a summary conclusion in which the author restates or paraphrases the passage's main idea? Here is the last paragraph. This is the conclusion. Now, if you read this part of the conclusion and you compare it to the last sentence of paragraph 1, you compare it to the thesis statement of the introduction, then you will see that there is a restatement of the same idea. Okay? It is the same idea expressed in a different way. All right? So coming back to the question, we deduce or we come to the conclusion that this is a summary conclusion. The author restates, he paraphrases the main idea of the passage. Right, exercise B of the reading comprehension passage. With reference to the passage, answer the following questions. Question number 1, how do octopi confuse their enemy's sense of sight? Sight refers to the perception of the eye. Okay, so if you read this part of the paragraph, you will notice that the octopus uses an ability to squirt clouds of ink into the water. So to squirt means to spread clouds of ink into the water. Okay? And this is to block or to camouflage the sight of the enemy. So let's read it. It retreats into the ink cloud where the predator cannot see it. So how do octopi confuse their enemies? A sense of sight. It's by squirting clouds of ink into the water and hiding inside it. Question 2. What effect does melanin have if ingested by a sea animal? Here is the paragraph. Focus your attention on this part. Notice that it says melanin can shut down a predator's sense of smell. Okay? So to answer this question, we write melanin can shut down a predator's sense of smell. Good. Question 3. What's the similarity between an octopus and a chameleon? So the similarity is clear from this paragraph. It's the ability to change color. So they both have the ability to change the color of their skin. Question 4. Why do poisonous octopi change their skin color when provoked? Okay. Focus your attention here. The answer is to warn predators that they are dangerous and ready to strike. Okay. Here is the answer. Good. Now let's move on to summary making. The question is, in not less than 4 sentences, summarize the second paragraph of the passage showing how effective, how good is the technique used by the octopus to escape an attack. Here is the paragraph. You need to sum it up. So notice here that we say, or we find this piece of information that says that the octopus squirts clouds of ink into the water. And they use this as a camouflage. Also, other octopi use the ink cloud as a trap. And also they use it to confuse the sense of smell of their enemies. Okay, so to answer this question and to summarize that paragraph, we can say, to escape an attack, the octopus squirts a cloud of ink into the water. This effective technique is basically used as a camouflage. It is also used to trap the enemy. Furthermore, the ink of cloud confuses the attacker's sense of smell. Great. Now let's move on to translation. And in translation, you have 2 types of questions. First, you translate from English into Arabic, and then you'll have 2 sentences where you translate them from Arabic into English. So translate the following paragraph. So we're going to take this paragraph sentence by sentence and translate it into Arabic. So here is the first sentence. Some people say that the best defense is a good offense. An octopus, however, would disagree. In Arabic, we can translate it as follows. يقول بعض الناس بأن أفضل طريقة للدفاع هي الهجوم الجيد ولكن الأخطبوط له رأي مختلف. Second sentence. In addition to being one of the strangest and most beautiful creatures in nature, the octopus has some of the most inventive and effective defense mechanisms imaginable. I'll give you some time to think of an answer. Remember that we don't translate word for word. We just grasp the meaning, the whole message of the sentence, and then we try to express it using our Arabic language. Okay? So, to translate this sentence, بالإضافة إلى كونه واحد من أغرب وأجمل المخلوقات في الطبيعة يمتلك الأخطبوط بعض آليات الدفاع الأكثر ابتكارا وفعالية. Third sentence. While other animals have teeth, horns, or claws to help defend them from predators, the octopus concentrates its energy on hiding from and confusing its attackers. In Arabic, it would read بينما تمتلك الحيوانات الأخرى أنيابا وقرونا ومخالب تساعدها في الدفاع عن نفسها من الحيوانات المفترسة، يركز الأخطبوط طاقته على الاختباء وإرباك من يهاجمه. Last sentence. When it wants to get away, the octopus has an impressive arsenal of tricks at its disposal. وعندما يريد الهروب فإن للأخطبوط ترسانة هائلة من الحيل تحت تصرفه. Great. Now let's translate the following sentences into English. علي: ما المقصود بالتسامح والحرية؟ محمود: إن التسامح هو تقبل أناس آخرين مختلفين عنا، والحرية هي الموازنة بين حرية الفرد واحتياجات المجتمع ككل. So, sentence number 1. ما المقصود بالتسامح والحرية؟ A few seconds to think. In English, we could say, what does tolerance and freedom mean? يقول محمود: إن التسامح هو تقبل أناس آخرون مختلفين عنا، والحرية هي الموازنة بين حرية الفرد واحتياجات المجتمع ككل. In English, we could say, tolerance means accepting other people who are different from us. Freedom is balancing between individual freedom and the needs of the society as a whole. Dear students, this lesson has come to an end. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I hope the lesson was beneficial to you. I wish you the best of luck and goodbye for now.